Kunanantunanina anukiwan ke maskawishkagawach an sinnawak. Tikinagan abinoji sigama unanantunawan anukinaganan. Gigamini ko minno ontasiwan kiwan. Minno tibahigatagan kiwichi gowanan. Mina chigiganagatek ina tasiwichi wewan. Mina anukiwa kikanohamagewan. Kiwagan tikinagan.org/anukiwanan.
Whatche, bonjour. You are now listening to Kahkenuh Aweyuk, everyone together on TikTok Radio, hosted by Tikinagan Child Family Services. We appreciate you tuning into our weekly program every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern on Wawate Radio. Tikinagan is a community-based child and well-being agency rooted in and accountable to the First Nation communities we serve. We are here because we want to protect our children, help our families, and nurture our communities. To learn more about Tikinagan, visit tikinagan.org.
Hello, bonjour, wache. Thanks for tuning in to Kahkenuh Aweyuk. I'm your host, Terry Tikinagan, and today I'm going to be talking to Robin Bunting and Esther McKay from the Niigaanshkaawin project. Niigaanshkaawin Breaking Trail is a new initiative to support First Nation affiliates of Tikinagan Child and Family Services. This support will be in the development of band representative programs, implementation of child welfare laws, and to reimagine the role that Tikinagan will have in the future. Now that's just a brief primer, but let me introduce you to my guests who'll tell you a lot more.
Wajia, hello. My name is Esther McKay, and I'm from Bearskin Lake First Nation.
Hi, my name is Robin Bunting, and I'm from Constance Lake First Nation and Black Sioux First Nation.
Alrighty, awesome. Thank you for the introductions. It's lovely to be speaking with you both. So my first question is, can you explain how this project came to be?
Niigaanshkaawin came to be, from my understanding, it came from the people. It came from the people wanting change, wanting something different, a way to help each other, help themselves, help the children. Niigaanshkaawin is about taking our power back to our roots.
And why is that important?
So our as First Nations people, we've always lived under someone else's system. As First Nations people, we've never given up our right to care for our children. With this project, we are hoping, we want to help the First Nations take that inherent right back in order to care for their own children their way.
Okay, so Tikinagan already provides supports for children, youth, and families in First Nation communities. But what sets Niigaanshkaawin apart? How does this project differ from what Tikinagan already does?
So the Niigaanshkaawin project was created from the Chiefs Committee. They've had meetings and they had a vision, and this project is part of that vision. And that vision is to take control, or not necessarily take control, but just to care for their own children their way. So with this project and Tikinagan, we look at it as a dual mandate. We have a mandate from Tikinagan. We also have a mandate from the chiefs.
Niigaanshkaawin differs from Tikinagan in the sense that it's about what the people want. It gives this pathway for our people to speak their truth in what they know works and what they know helps their people heal, what helps the families heal. And it's going to be something unique in each and every community.
Speaking of communities, what communities are involved with Niigaanshkaawin?
The communities involved in this project are the communities that Tikinagan serves. So there's 30 First Nations communities. And currently, one of our objectives is to create awareness on Niigaanshkaawin and the work that is involved with the Act, otherwise known as Bill C-92.
What is Bill C-92?
So Bill C-92 is commonly referred to as the Act. And the correct term is an act respecting First Nations, Inuit, Métis, children, youth, and families. And this act came into force on January 1st, 2020. It took years of advocating from First Nations leaders advocating to the government that we wanted to have our own child welfare, that we have never given it up, and that we have always had our child-rearing ways. So this is an opportunity for First Nations across Canada to revitalize those laws, those child welfare laws.
Why is it important to revitalize these laws?
It's important to revitalize these laws because they've always been with us. It's always been within us. These laws that we carry, sacred laws, family laws, child rearing laws, community laws, they all are vital, have been vital in keeping us alive.
Okay. So what are the timelines for this project?
Okay, so when do we expect it to be operational? It's really hard to answer right now because we don't have, we're currently working on the work plan, and then we need to meet with the chiefs regularly to get their directive.
So let's say I'm from Lac Seul or Bearskin Lake. What will this project look like in my community? What should I or someone from our First Nation communities expect to see?
It has the potential to look many different ways. One of the things that I hear often, I've heard often on my journey in this helping profession is the importance of instilling cultural identity within all of our endeavors. And I believe many communities have a vision already of what this is going to look like. Some people will have a child and youth center. Some communities will have family healing lodges. Others will have an advanced clinical approach to what will help their community issues in helping families heal together.
Okay, so what I want people to see, what I want people to know back home in our First Nations is that it took us years and years of pain and suffering and to get where we are. We've been through so much. We've been through residential schools and 60 scoops and all these other situations that has caused trauma in our First Nations. We've lived through trauma on a daily basis. So with the Niigaanshkaawin project and with Tikinagan and the chiefs, is what we want to do is we want to help the First Nations heal from that. It's going to take time. It's going to take, though we've been living in these systems and these traumas for decades. So I imagine it's going to take a long time to get to where we need to be. The first thing that we have to do is we need to heal, and we need to heal as a community because our children and our youth are asking for it. They're asking for us to work together and to make life better for them. They're very resilient, and we see that as parents. We see that, and I'm just hoping that this the Niigaanshkaawin team and leadership and the First Nations can work together to create and revitalize your own way, our own way, because this is what we need.
I can tell just by listening to you two talk that this project seems personal, that this is something you really want to see happen for families in our First Nations. Can you tell me why this project is so important to you?
Niigaanshkaawin is important to me because of the potential that it has. There's so much healing that needs to be done in our communities, within ourselves, around ourselves. And I believe that, in essence, what I've been taught through my own parents growing up, through the elders that I sit with today, that it's important to never forget where we come from, our culture. Our people have a vast knowledge in what works for us and what works for them. And I want that. I want that to grow. I want it to grow into something that we've never imagined before. I've been on my own healing journey the last while, and it's been something that I know has brought me here for whatever reasons. And it's an honor to work with Niigaanshkaawin, with Robin, with the Chiefs Committee, because there's so much that can be done, that will be done. And I am so honored to have this opportunity to work with the communities in developing their own laws.
Okay, so as a child, I was a child in care myself. I know what it's like to be alone, and to not have, just to be away from everything that you know. I was taken from my home, and for whatever reason, but I just didn't like that feeling. So all my life, I've worked towards wanting to help First Nations people look after their own in child welfare. I didn't want any child in care to be alone the way I was alone. I'm very happy to be here, and to be able to have the opportunity to work with the First Nations that Tikinagan serves.
That's so true. The ones who care for us often have the biggest impact on our lives. It's difficult to be alone at any stage, but children are especially vulnerable. So thank you, Robin, for sharing such a personal story. Can you speak to the Mamo Obiki-Oasawin service model and how it relates to Niigaanshkaawin?
Mamo Obiki-Oasawin means raising our children together. And how it came to be is so profound. Tikinagan has been a leader in creating this First Nations approach and having it work alongside with the provincial mandates. Mamo Obiki-Oasawin, to me, is essential. It's a huge part of where we connect the teachings that have already been developed on paper through this model, and how we are able to connect them to what the communities are already doing. They're already working the Mamo way, whether they know it or not. It's just what I see from what my perspective. I've been working with Tikinagan since I was 19, 20, on and off. And throughout this journey, I've so believed in what was the original vision of the Chiefs, in helping ourselves to grow to be who we are meant to be.
Excellent. I want to thank the both of you for coming in. It was a pleasure speaking with you and learning all about Niigaanshkaawin Breaking Trail.
Thank you so much for having us. I am so grateful, so honored to be here with you all. And I would just like to say wajia to everyone out there in Wawatayland. Thank you.
So I just want to say thank you for having us, allowing us a little bit of time to introduce the Niigaanshkaawin project.
Thanks again for sharing your knowledge, and miigwech to everyone listening. This is Terry Tikinagan, and I've been speaking with Robin Bunting and Esther McKay from the Niigaanshkaawin Project. For more information about the Niigaanshkaawin Project, visit them online at niigaanshkaawin.org or follow Niigaanshkaawin on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at Niigaanshkaawin.
Ohmad Tikinagan miesde bwtamang mihima iskonaganang ehtek kananantunamak. Mandogdan duwen gomen koyak tganwen makni chansnanak mina chamaskawto ekadbenchgevnan mina gadskonagannan. Ogamakana gogiwna sawa Tikinagan huet dudaminich. Abinojis mihawe Niigaanwit gen madzishtamagoyak. Wijis nam ihwe chuganewen mawasian. Nada ihima chugabeshian chuganewen mawasian. Kiwgen tikinagan.org. Nanda kanus basic niswaso wawie bigan niwan ngudaso nianan. Nisin ngudaso nishin niwan.
Thank you for listening to Kahkenuh Aweyuk, Everyone Together on TikTok Radio, hosted by Tikinagan Child Family Services. Miigwech.